Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Alien Direct discussion. I'm going to sum it up for you. It's nothing. All right, see you later, everyone. Okay, no, really. Today I have Alien Direct discussion, ADD, and also Aliens Dark Descent, ADD. Interesting. But no, what's happening right now, there's a thing happening, congressional hearing about, UFOs and stuff, and I have a little bit of information about this, not too much. I watched about an hour of it, and it's not really much of anything, but I thought it would be fun to discuss it for like 10-15 minutes. And, of course you're going to take me seriously, because all you have to do is look at the screen here and see, me, the chat, and an alien in a shirt. And if that doesn't make this topic seem serious, then I don't know what will. So, okay, I watched, like I said, some of this hearing, and essentially what it boils down to is there are witnesses who are government officials, people who served, saying that we don't have proper systems to report these things. They're called UAPs now, by the way, chat. Not UFOs anymore. Sorry. Too much stigma around UFOs. So now they're UAPs. Unidentified anomalous phenomena. Man, I like UFOs so much better. But they're discussing their experiences and saying this shit happens and there's no real way to report it. It's been happening for years. There's a lot of accounts. And that's it. So they said, right at the beginning, we're not bringing little green men or flying saucers into the hearing. Sorry to disappoint about half of y'all. Quote. End quote. We're going to get to the facts. We're going to uncover the cover-up, and I hope this is just the beginning of many more hearings and many more people coming forward about this. So, this particular Alien Direct is a little disappointing. We didn't even get a new Mario game. Gino wasn't confirmed for Smash, and we didn't get, aliens in the building. So, yeah, I mean, it's just so dumb. It's just so dumb, because it's exactly what the Disclosure Project talked about years ago, where they got people from the government and NASA, and they had people say, oh yeah, I saw something, here's what I saw. And this is now just people questioning these three people. Vinny, did you notice the alien? What, the one next to me? Yeah. Anyway, I'm not sure if aliens are real, but I would definitely say that this particular event it's more of the same. There's three witnesses. There's a former Navy pilot, Brian Graves, who encountered a UAP on a training mission. David Fravor, who filmed the Tic Tac video, which I can show you at some point. And also David Grush, a former combat officer, member of previous Pentagon task force. Yeah, I mean, they talked about this stuff. The past couple of years, there's been discussion about alien stuff. So they're just answering questions and saying, yeah, we saw stuff. We don't know what it is. And some of them are saying that we have the objects, and we have studied them. So no, there's no proof for any of this, but I find it fascinating because I don't know if you know this, chat, but I kind of have an interest in aliens. So, until we actually get empirical evidence, this is more of the same stuff that we've seen already. Someone said, I have proof and I'm not showing anyone. That sounds familiar. But, yeah, I mean, one of the things they mentioned is safety concerns for pilots. And that's interesting to me because I actually think that they brought up the point of there's a pilot, they see something they can't explain, and there's no protocol for it, and no one to report it to. And the problem with that is they don't know if it's friend or foe or just something that they could that could damage the aircraft. So sure, whatever that is, that doesn't have to be aliens, but there needs to be better ways to recount that. I think overall, it's just nice to have it discussed, whether people are saying it's a cover-up for something else. And it's like, you know, I'm just sick of this planet sometimes. I want the aliens to take me. But I also feel like the funny thing is the chat on YouTube is hilarious. Like, I'm reading some of the chat. It's just memes. Wanna fuck them aliens. Politics, of course. There's you know, what else was it? You know, people saying it's boring, the usual stuff. So it's like enlightened discussion, of course. I can imagine someone who's in their like 50s clicking on the live thing and looking at the YouTube chat and just being so confused, especially by like the advanced memes that we're on. We're on like level 10 memes, and someone who's 50 has no idea. That reminds me, one of the people, I don't know who this is. Again, I'm not really familiar with congressmen and senators. I don't really care about these people. I have no interest. But I have a moment that made me laugh out loud. So he said something earlier, because the incident is called the Tic Tac incident, right? Because to the pilots, the aircraft looked a little bit like a Tic Tac. So they found, you know, they filmed this. This is like, I guess, in the cockpit of an F-18. And then the thing just kind of like flies away. So they nicknamed it the Tic Tac, and there was no debrief, or there was no information from the debrief. So this is one of the things that got people interested in this topic again, and also because the thing is going so fast, they couldn't even follow it. So anyway, whatever this is, chat, I find it interesting, but one of the people in the hearing called it a TikTok. And then later in the hearing issued this statement.
Mr. Favor, I noticed that in the Tic Tac video, it's Tic Tac like the candy, not TikTok like the Chinese Communist app.
That's correct.
Yes, sir. I just want to make that, because my daughter corrected me on that and called me a boomer.
So that's happening at the UFO Direct right now, everybody. And everything is just so fucking cursed. And again, if you look at the chat, it's just like you know what? You may as well be reading Skibbity Toilet chat. Not entirely, but I saw some decent conversation. I took a couple looks. I'm looking right now, and there actually is some discussion. But once in a while, there was some stuff that, like, I think someone said show feet at one point. Anyway, yeah. So chat, I don't even really know what else to talk about in regards to this. But my game just finished downloading, so that's good. Aliens Dark Descent. What else can I say about this? I don't know, man. Aliens are fun to think about. I want to believe. I grew up watching, you know, movies and reading about them. I personally do believe that there are anomalous things in the sky. And if someone in the Navy says that they saw something, I'm not instantly going to be like, hey, that dude's just trying to make a quick buck. In a lot of cases, their reputation is fucked. In a lot of cases, people that talk about their situations are laughed at. Are there grifters? Yeah. There are people that make money on UFO stuff. There are authors like that David Wilcock guy, or whatever, not him. What's his name? Whitley Strieber. Like people like that who talk like they have contact with aliens that get really annoying. There's another guy, Stephen Greer, who was at the Disclosure Project thing 20 years ago. And he talks about going out to the desert and making emotional connections with aliens, and he charges money for that to like send people like out there with him. It's bizarre. So for every account of a reputable person seeing a UFO, there's also people that say, come out to the desert with me, be like $200, and then you're gonna go and look up at the sky, and then you're gonna open your heart. So Yeah, I don't know, man. This Alien Direct is not much. I mean, I would be down for a further discussion. I would love to see more declassified documents. They have said that there are definitely a lot of reports and accounts, and that the government does take this seriously, and not just the US government, but governments around the world. This is something that people do take seriously. But is it a matter of national security? You know, is it aliens, or is it just like advanced enemy technology? Whatever it is, I find it interesting, and I hope one day there's a real Alien Direct where they show up on Nixon's lawn and they're like, blah. That'd be great. So, whatever the case is, I don't really think there's much to watch here on this here Alien Direct. You know, it's still going on. There's just boring people talking. And again, there's information that I find interesting, and they're all intelligent. Like, the three witnesses are intelligent people.
Was this documented in...
And they do want... Basically, one of the people wants safe aerospace. That's his whole thing. He is putting himself on the line to make sure that pilots can be safe in the skies, because he feels like that hasn't been happening. And, you know, that seems fine.
And it, you know, actually makes me very upset.
See, it makes him upset, chat. Vinny, will you be on the next Alien Direct with Norts? Nope. No, I don't think they'll want me. Norts maybe, not me. I spoke out against Whitley Strieber, so... Do you have any questions for me now, chat? Because otherwise I'm just gonna play a video game. Someone said I want to smoke a joint with some A-Lamaus. How come that happened? Like, I know this is partially something... Maybe is also a little bit my fault, but weed and aliens have really become like an inseparable pair, huh? True hearings are always closed doors, public ones are just for show. Someone said they're unsafe but also have not been shot down. Weird how that works. Well, I find your logic to be bullshit and stupid. No, hear me out. Apparently there are crashed saucers that we have recovered across the world. That is something that has been reported and there's been so much discussion. Roswell, you know, tons of books about this topic, whether or not you believe it. But also, if they are crashed saucers, but their technology is so advanced that we can't even lock a missile onto them. I mean, it's bizarre. The whole thing is fucking weird, and sure, it all falls apart if you look at it too hard, which is one of the reasons I had to stop buying books about this topic, because it became, as you've heard me say dozens of times, it became infuriating. So now it's just kind of just a fun thing for me and my alien to hang out and talk and smoke weed. Well, he does the smoking. I get the fucking secondhand smoke, and that's just as bad. But Vinny, how serious are you right now? I'm as serious as you think I am. So is Vinny convinced that this shit is real? Well, okay, so that's the same chat member. Like I said, if you're listening to how I'm discussing this, yes, I have read a lot of books on this. I do believe that there are anomalous things that are in the sky and have been reported. Do I think aliens are particularly real? Like the dude that's sitting next to me on the couch? I have no idea. I'm gonna say, until I see something, I don't know. I don't think I believe that there are dudes that are 4 foot tall with big black eyes and big heads. That's the fantasy part. But I do believe people have seen weird shit. The thing is, there are so many books about this, and I've read a couple books about abductions, and these aren't people who necessarily made money. I mean, some of them did, absolutely, but then there are people who actually have their lives and reputations ruined. So it's a complex situation. You may find, well, Vinny's so stupid, he's so naive, if he thinks any of this even has a chance of being real. And to which I say, look how big our universe is. And I think it's almost silly that we would be alone. Now, whether or not life has visited us, I don't know. We're not getting that from this Alien Direct. That much I'll tell you. And if there's any proof, we have only ever seen grainy footage. And if it's not grainy footage, then it's good enough to have been faked via Photoshop or whatever else. So, you know, all we have is the word of people who have seen this stuff. Do I believe it? I don't know, because it doesn't affect me on a daily basis. And until I see an Alamau getting fucking plowed, I don't want to know about it. So I watched, like I said, I watched enough of this, and as usual, it's just government officials saying, yes, I saw this. We want a safe aerospace for our pilots, and the government knows more than we do. And if that's a matter of national security, that's one thing, but also it's eroding public trust. But honestly, in a world where everything's a conspiracy theory, everything's a hoax, everything is some kind of hoax from one side or the other, I think even if aliens did have, I said this last night, but even if there was definitive proof, people would just choose very, very easily to just disregard it. It wouldn't be difficult to do that. And unless they, started invading or something like that, no one's gonna care for more than a week. Like I said, someone's gonna go and say, this celebrity did something and is dating a new... Taylor Swift is now dating the werewolf from Twilight again, and that's gonna be a bigger story. But yeah, so who knows? I mean, the truth is out there somewhere. Unfortunately, what is live right now is gonna be so incredibly boring for most people, and so like nothing new, that I don't think it's gonna really have much of an effect. And there's a part of me that even thinks they're doing this just to throw people a bone, just to kind of alleviate the interest and say, okay, here's a little bit of interest. Here, we're gonna do a hearing. You happy? Great. World War III needs to happen before first contact with the Vulcans, so it's not real. Hell yeah. Vinny, real talk, have you ever wandered around at night and North silhouette scared the shit out of you? No. Alien fleshlight. Wait, no one said that. Interesting. What if aliens are already among us and watching your stream right now? What did you say? Can you say that again? While I find the sound? There it is. I think if aliens have observed us, real talk for a minute, I think if we have in any way, shape, or form been visited by a form of extraterrestrial life, they haven't specifically made themselves known when they could have. But what makes me more skeptical is whenever I hear an account of some random gas station attendee or a employee or like just some random weirdo who ends up getting abducted, and then they give that person a message that the world must hear. Like, why that person? Or isn't there a better way to get your message out there? And then there's that one guy who got brought on board a mothership, and a mantis creature watched him jack off into a cup, while an alien with big tits and a big head watched from the distance. There's literally a documentary on Netflix about this guy, and he painted his memories from on board the mothership, and that was one of the memories. Does that ever happen to you? So, like I said, chat, I love this topic as just fantasy at this point in my life, and I find it to be interesting. The congressional thing is about 2 hours. I think it's over now. And if you want to watch it, that's fine. I don't particularly have very much more to talk about here. So, to recap, people in the government, specifically pilots and stuff, have seen some weird shit, and they want a better way to report it. So that way it's not a safety risk. That's the whole 2 hours summed up. I hope you enjoyed. Okay, great. We did it. We made it. If there's ever another Alien Direct with anything more substantial, perhaps I will discuss that too, for fun. Just for shits and giggles, you know? Alright, let's play a video game. Might be loud, hang on. Vinny, how do you change the scene without moving your arms? That's a conspiracy, bro.